The following is an excerpt from the History of RPGs episode 17. If you enjoy this video, I ask that you subscribe and watch the full release, which will come out on July 8th, 2020. During your ship ride back to Baron, Leviathan attacks your ship in a homage to Final Fantasy II. Cecil afterwards says, "Guess I'm alone," a line that has always stuck with me for how solemn it is. Perhaps because it is an echo of his emotional and psychological state. But this low point only gets lower. Mysidia, where Cecil took the crystal from in the introduction, is one of the best towns in Final Fantasy history. Everyone hates Cecil's guts with a passion, with each person having individual reactions towards him. From a mage who turns you into a toad, a dancer who changes you into a pig, a man who has turned to drinking in his despair, to a man who has an over-the-top comedic reaction, leaping off the screen. All can be summed up by this one sign: never forgive Baron. This is what NPC interaction has the power to do, to give us a visceral, personal account of the consequences of events, directly from the people most affected. But the Elder is a more merciful man, telling Cecil of a path to redemption. You may become a paladin by scaling Mount Ordeals, where no one has come back from before. I greatly dislike the no one has come back trope. Come on, old man. If no one has ever come back, how did people become paladins in the past? And if it is that dangerous, then why are you sending two kids with me? Your chaperones are the twins, Palom and Porum. The cheekier Palom is a black mage. His boast ability boosts his intelligence stat. Porum is the very ladylike white mage. The exact nature of her cry ability has been up for debate. It was originally believed to make escaping easier, but apparently it makes stealing easier, even though you have no one on your team who can steal. Though its capabilities depend on which version you have. The combination attack Twincast gives the sibling relationship and expression in gameplay, while playing into the ATB with a long casting time that occupies the turns of two characters. The aptly named Mount Ordeals is a lonely mountain, surrounded by trees for a profound presentation. We now come to one of the most well-crafted scenarios in the franchise, utilizing the dungeon, gameplay, and story to advance Cecil's reinvention. As you ascend the mountain, you find that most enemies are undead. Cecil up until now has been the physical powerhouse and the backbone of your team. Now, he is not as useful, for a dark sword can do nothing to face the powers of evil. In fact, the team function here puts him in more of a support role. Even Porum makes for a better damage dealer in certain situations. At certain times, Cecil is better off using potions for both defense and offense. Tello rejoins with his obsessive desire for vengeance. Whereas Cecil is on the path of redemption, he is moving in the opposite direction. Sakaguchi brought back the concept of the Four Fiends. Scarmiglione, the Fiend of Death, is fitting for this section. A dark, deathly force reflecting the powers of darkness, the very same power Cecil has used up until now. The Fiends are named after demons from Dante's Divine Comedy, specifically Dante's Inferno. Fitting, as the epic poem describes a journey from hell all the way to heaven, reflecting Cecil's journey. The battle with the Fiend of Death is initially an easy fight, but his true form backattacks us. The puzzle element includes checking if you understand row mechanics, having to switch your party rows during battle or beforehand if you know what is coming. It also tests your aptitude against undead fights. The player is even rewarded for using an X potion if you happen to have one for massive damage. Cecil now enters the main chamber. A voice mysteriously calls him son, and then Cecil becomes a Paladin. The concept of class changing becomes a gameplay story element. He begins again at level 1, harkening back to Final Fantasy III's skill levels. The symbolism of taking on a new job doubles as Cecil narratively begins a new life. Being able to clearly see his face is almost a shock after it having been concealed for so long. Cecil must now quite literally face himself. To win, he must parry instead of attacking, signifying his new role as a defender, both in story and gameplay. The voice says that justice is not the only way. The creators stated that the two themes they were concerned with were darkness to light, as well as brute strength alone not being power. A large part of that is Cecil's more defensive and supportive cover ability. As with Final Fantasy III's Knight, he will automatically defend a low HP character, but new is that you can manually set him to constantly cover any party member. Cecil could not have reached the summit without the power of others. He had to learn to support them to win. It is as if he was already training towards the Paladin job. Now, the gameplay story synergy has changed the way he plays to reflect his new persona. He has become a more strategic character, capable of defending those whose power is necessary to win the day. There is also a spiritual element to this game. The symbolic idea of a father calling down to his son. Despite being based on the Knight class, the game specifically uses the term Paladin, a holy knight known for noble virtue, the shedding of darkness to commit to a new life, the idea of the subjugation of the self, the four fiends being named after demons, and the game's themes of forgiveness. Classic Christian imagery and ideas have been utilized to give life to the story Sakaguchi and Tokita were trying to tell. Tella has also been granted all of his abilities as well as Medio. Perhaps he is being given an opportunity to see how well he will use that power. The final phase is the Descent of Mount Ordeals. Most dungeons in Final Fantasy IV are bridges to the next area, but this is one of the few inward dungeons. While you may use Tella's exit to escape, for the sake of Cecil's levels it is wiser to walk back down. Unlike his Dark Blade, Cecil's new Sword of Light is now very effective against the enemies, allowing him to train in his new vocation both literally and symbolically. Prior to this part of the game, the darkness allowed you to win easily and quickly, but now he must take the time to train in a better, newer way.
Is the dark side stronger?
No. But the easier, more seductive.
Losing Dark Wave and that immediate power also makes you, the player, miss the dark side a little, as if it were symbolically a kind of lingering temptation. But eventually, Cecil will become more powerful than he ever was, symbolizing that in the end, light, while it takes more time, is far more powerful. And this makes it, at least personally, like a walk of glory as the newly established Paladin marches down the mountain. The entire arc of Mount Ordeals of going up, Cecil being less useful, and returning is brilliant design in terms of gameplay story synergy. The level of craftsmanship is a testament to both Sakaguchi and Tokita's level of thoughtfulness. It certainly should be noted by modern RPG developers. I do hope that you enjoyed this excerpt. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and comment and share if you can. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all.